I'm about to take you for a ride in one of the coolest resto mods I personally have ever seen. Now, what makes it a resto mod? It looks bone stock. And to me, that's the best resto mod, one that still looks original, but it's been modified. Maybe it's got some performance or safety enhancements. This has both. It's radically improved, but it looks just like it did the day it left the factory, and that's outside and inside. Maybe the only hint you would get is it's got dual exhaust, or maybe the hint is when you start it up, but I guarantee you the final hint is when you accelerate. You're going to be very impressed with this car. Now, another thing that's impressive, the history from the very original owner, the lady that bought it brand new in Oregon, is a known person. Of course, she's passed, but everybody from her forward, every owner is known. That's super cool. You rarely ever have that kind of history. The interior is stunning. We'll look at some pictures of that interior. Additionally, it has all the goodies, the cool stuff that you would want in this car. It came from the factory with that stuff, or it's on it now. It's got the correct cool deluxe hood ornament. It's got the deluxe radio, the backup lights. It's got the original mirrors, original glass. The glass is in fantastic shape, and the body's fantastic, and the paint. Just look at the pictures. It's really a nice car. Money and effort was spent to restore it as needed. You've got the original style wood grain inside. The trunk, however, looks original. It looks like that's the way it came from the factory. I don't think anything's been done in there. The bright work has all been restored, or it's meant original. Basically, it's a fantastic car. It's got the aftermarket white wall tires, and it's my favorite brand. It's the American Classics radials. So it really has a lot going for it. It basically is one of the coolest mild, and I do mean mild, resto mods I've ever seen. Oh, one more thing. Before I go on a test drive, let me start it up, and then we'll take a look at the engine running. Both are very impressive. It's fuel injection, so no effort's required here. Basically, I just reach in. That's it. Come check out the motor. Well, you can see it's got power steering, power brakes, an aluminum radiator, a Vortec fuel injection, and air conditioning sitting right here. It's not sit up right now to run in the car, but the whole system that came on this platform is still here and ready to go. Very cool. All right, now let's go on that test drive. Well, okay, I'm going to start it up, and we're going to go on our test drive. That's fuel injection. That's how fuel injection cars start. All right, here we go. They're running 65 up and down this road, and we're running with them. In fact, I'm going to get up next to them to show you that we can run by them if we want to. The car's got a lot of power. It's not built to be a hot rod, but it certainly will pass somebody if you need to, and it'll keep up with highway speed traffic. Okay, so here we are. And I'm going to give you a little example of blowing by a guy. So it's got the power, and in fact it's impressive. A 350 Vortec V8. It's an impressive motor. It's a great motor. A lot of guys are using those in their resto mods, and this one's kind of hidden in here. You'd never know it had it, but it does. And I'll take my hands off the wheel. We're going straight down the road, not left, not right, straight down the road. Very cool, very stable car. Here's a set of pretty serious railroad tracks. We'll take it over the railroad tracks. Okay, we're going to turn around going the other way. I'll be at a complete stop, and I'll show you that you can turn the car one hand, one steering wheel. It's power steering, so it's as easy as that. Well, I've driven a lot of classic cars in my time, and I've owned a lot of classic cars, but have experienced very few like this. This car is, it's this perfect combination of looking bone stock, and I do mean looking bone stock. Even when you're sitting here inside the cabin, it looks bone stock. You can't tell it's not a factory car. Other than some aftermarket gauges under the dash, which are nice to have because they tell you what that modern day motor is doing. It just looks bone stock, and I love that. It looks bone stock outside. Of course, it's got dual exhaust, so that might be a hint to the knowledgeable people. But it was kept that way, which retains the gorgeous looks, the factory look, and but improves the driving experience with the modern day driveline. It just makes all the difference in the world. You can hop in this car and go places you couldn't go, or at least not safely, in my opinion, with an old 218 closed drive shaft, old school rear end with a really low gear. So this has a driveline that's made to go highway speeds, and it certainly does that with zero effort. And you know, I love that. These cars are meant to be driven, and people love seeing them out, and it's like a piece of art going down the road. This car is whisper quiet. The only rattle in this car is this shifter, and it doesn't always rattle, but sometimes it does, and probably something that can be easily resolved if someone would focus on that. But other than that, it's super quiet, and the doors close like the vault door at a bank. You know, I forgot my sunglasses. Normally I wouldn't be able to even take that, but this real cool sun visor up here blocks the sun, or at least a lot of it. There's no sun bearing down in me inside this car, and I mean anywhere. Which is quite impressive. Seat's super comfortable. It's a cool car. There's no other way to put it. When I get to the highway in a minute, I'll show you how it accelerates. Not to say that it's a hot rod, because it's not. It's not built to be a hot rod. It's very definitely a purpose-built cruiser, so that you could get in this car and you could go anywhere you chose to, and not be, you know, pressured by people behind you because you can't run the speed limit. It'll definitely run the speed limit and more. Okay. Now I'll jump on it. Wow. Wow. That's a 48 Chevy Fleetmaster Coupe that I'm telling you looks bone stock. And I guarantee you a bone stock 48 Fleetmaster Coupe would never do anything remotely like that, even if you dropped it out of an airplane. It's a cool car. You know, the brakes are adequate. I'm not having any trouble stopping this car. They're not modern day disc brakes, but if the car is driven like it should be driven, it should be fine. I've never tried to stop it under an emergency panic stop. Don't know what that would be like, but in the driving I've done, it provides competent stops. Very drivable car. I hope you enjoyed the test drive.